Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with some more news, reviews, and reactions. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking, all right? So shout out to everybody who is in the room already. I'm going to give some quick acknowledgments. While I'm doing that, if you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the comment section or a radiation emoji. If you guys cannot, then give me a thumbs down, all right? Shout out to Torian. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to Volvo 2 Love. Got my man We Lit in the building. Got Terrence Jackson up in here. We got Lehman Lucas in the house. We got Miss Jazzy for a reason, y'all, in the building. And we got my man Lloyd Sky 9. AB Promotions is in the house. And my man David Brown. What is good? What is going on with y'all? Hopefully everybody is doing good. All right. So we're gonna talk about this real quick, and then shout out to my man Gullah Jack Tracks. What's good with it, bro? And then I think we're gonna talk about something else. So this live stream should not be very long at all. All right. First, I want to give a shout out to Torian, and I want to give a shout out to Kid Gravity because they've been doing a really good job keeping the pressure on Vivek Ramaswamy. All right. Shout out to Fantizzy and shout out to Carlton. What's good with y'all? Shout out to Carlton. Ice cream so good. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the ice cream so good gang. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. Vivek Ramaswamy is one of them NPCs. He's sitting up there talking about America first. America first. America first. Make America great again. Make America great again. And we actually are going to prove that. All right. So I don't know if you guys saw the live stream that I did on Blacklight Revelations 1. It's the live stream that has Cornel West as the thumbnail. All right. If you guys have not seen that, make sure you guys take a moment. If you're driving somewhere, you know, if you're doing something, turn it on and listen to it. Towards the end, we start talking about Vivek Ramaswamy because we're talking about emotional appeal, right? We're talking about emotional appeal. And I have a theory, and one of my theories is that when you speak to the dominant society, you can tap into the same raw emotions that you tap into when you are racist towards black people, okay? Now, if you ask me, I believe that that can be proven based on Vivek Ramaswamy's talking points. However, the way that you expose Vivek Ramaswamy is that you show that all he has are talking points. Some of his talking points could possibly be harmful, not just to us, but to the dominant society. So then you make them look like fools by asking them, why do you support this stuff? Now, at the end of my live stream, I had a theory. And I said, the way that you deal with Vivek Ramaswamy is simply ask him how. Because the only thing that he has done constructively is he's figured out a way to speak to the emotions of the population at large. And that's because they're not that intelligent and they're emotion driven. And all you have to do is just tap into the right raw emotion and you get them open up. You get them open the same way that Jason Love got Lane the Plug open. Very easy. All right. But then once that starts to settle in and that starts to get old and it starts to get tired, there needs to be something else. With Vivek Ramaswamy, there is nothing else. There is nothing else. And I agree with Torian. That clown is so easily debunked. The only reason he gets held up is because of his stands. Facts. And those stands are only going to last for a certain amount of time. Because at some point you're going to have to produce, you're going to have to show a plan, you're going to have to show that you have viable solutions, of which Vivek Ramaswamy has zero. All right. Shout out to Kid Gravity for sending me this article right here. Now, how many people knew about this? Hannity audience laughs as GOP candidate awkwardly ducks Trump question. Now, what's interesting is that we predicted that this would happen, right? You guys remember when we predicted that this would happen? I said repeatedly towards the end of my live stream The way to shut Ramaswamy down is to ask him if you're building your entire platform in theology out of Trump's first presidency in a situation where Trump is available and you are the alternative, why should I vote for you? That's all you have to say. He did that amongst friends and got laughed out of the building. Case in point, kryptonite. Hannity audience laughs as GOP candidate awkwardly ducks Trump question. The Fox News host asked Vivek Ramaswamy, a 2024 presidential candidate, about how his policies differ from those of former President Trump. Now, let me ask you guys a question in the comment section. How do you all think that Vivek Ramaswamy answered that question? What did he say? What was his answer? Did he have an answer? That should be something very easy to answer, right? Especially for somebody that's allegedly as brilliant and intelligent, smart, and charismatic as Vivek Ramaswamy, right? But if you guys remember, I played a clip about a day or two ago from Tim Pool, and it's very key what they said on the Tim Pool podcast. Tim Pool said, "We like what he says." What that basically means is that we like to hear you talk because you say a lot of things that we like to hear, but that's about all your place is just to talk. We don't really want or need anything else from you. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree that that's exactly what they mean, then give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree and you don't think that that's what they mean, well, by all means, give me a thumbs down and let me know what you think. All right. So now here it says Vivek Ramaswamy, or I'm sorry, Sean Hannity brought out laughs from his crowd as 2024 Republican candidate Vivek Ramaswamy attempted to showcase his policy differences with former President Donald Trump on Thursday. Now, here's my question. I want to ask you guys. Shout out to Dark Titan. What's good with it, bro? What are Vivek Ramaswamy's policy differences between him and Trump? What are they? What are the differences? And shout out to Embrace Villainy. What's good with it, bro? What are his policy differences? Does he have any? And see, right here, if you ask me, this is where the Breakfast Club failed in their interview because Sean Hannity is supposed to be, right, an ally. He's a fellow believer in the ideologies that Vivek Ramaswamy signal boosts, right? So if that's the case, then that should have been a setup question to make Vivek Ramaswamy look good. But Vivek Ramaswamy wasn't even able to look good on his own showcase. And the reason why is because Vivek Ramaswamy is a mirage. He's an image with no substance. And we've proven this. So Sean Hannity turned it into a comedy show, brought out laughs from his crowd as 2024 Republican candidate Vivek Ramaswamy attempted to showcase his policy differences with former President Donald Trump on Thursday. Ramaswamy, a multimillionaire biotech entrepreneur and conservative activist who announced his presidential run earlier this week, gave another go at Hannity's question after he initially described the GOP challenger as a friend. So now, if he described the GOP challenger as a friend, then what that means is that he didn't answer the question about policy differences. So what I want to ask you guys is, I'm sure everybody in here is familiar with Vivek Ramaswamy and some of the things that he's been saying and some of his policy suggestions. What are the differences between Vivek Ramaswamy's policy suggestions and Trump's policy suggestions? Vivek Ramaswamy is a plagiarizer as well as a swaggerjacker. So most likely there's no differences. And again, in a situation where there's no differences, why would I get RC Cola when Coca-Cola is available for the same price? Who would do it? Would any of you guys do it? If you guys would do that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys wouldn't do that, give me a thumbs down. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 14 people watching and we got 17 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us over 20 likes, that'd be dope. So now here it says, I'm not running against him. I'm running on a vision for our nation, Ramaswamy told Hannity. Now, how do you guys feel about that? Doesn't sound like you're really looking to compete with Trump if you're not running against him. Because I guarantee you, if you ask Trump, Trump would tell you that he's in the race to dominate and win. So that's not what Vivek is in there for. He's not in there to be a winner. Is that somebody that anybody would feel comfortable with? Somebody who's competing to be second or third place? Is that, you guys be okay with that? I'm not running against him. I'm running on a vision for our nation, Ramaswamy told Hannity. Wait, but you're not running for him. You're running against him. Let's be honest, responded Hannity as his audience broke into chuckles. Now let's break this part down. Why did the audience break into chuckles when Vivek Ramaswamy said that? Right, I agree with embrace villainy. Then why is he there? If you're not running against Trump, if you're not running against all of the candidates, why are you there? What's the point? What's the purpose of you being there? So he's not running against Trump, which means that I'm assuming he probably doesn't really care if Trump wins. Well, if he doesn't care that Trump wins, then that means that he doesn't care if he loses. So why are you going to vote for somebody that's okay with being second place? And I agree with Torian. Torian says, I've said time and time again, he is building a following for his podcast. And I agree. If you guys agree with Torian, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with Torian, give me a thumbs down. I totally agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. So the audience that Hannity had laughed at Vivek Ramaswamy. And basically what they said is, you can talk like us, you can big up our guy, but just remember, you ain't us. You can talk like us, but you ain't us. And I think Vivek Ramaswamy knows that. He's just the type of guy that likes shit on his tongue. You know what I'm saying? So then it said the candidate, who swiftly fired back, said that he was running for America and said he'd talk about his differences from Trump before claiming the former president was the OG of America first. So he told this audience of flannel shirt, straw hat wearing white people that President Trump is an OG of America first. So why would I vote for a BG? See, this is what I'm saying. These people, let me tell y'all something. Y'all do a horrible job at cultural appropriation. You're dumb. Because if Sean Hannity was a good interviewer, Sean Hannity would have responded to Vivek Ramaswamy and said, if Trump is the OG, why am I voting for a BG? But y'all are dumb. And you don't have any swag. So that's why you didn't ask that question. How many people know what a BG is? Shout out to my West Coast people. If Tookie Williams is available, do you really want Snoop Dogg? If you're using the language, then get with it. If you're not, then get out the way. The candidate who swiftly fired back and said that he was running for America, said he'd talk about differences from Trump before claiming the former president was the OG of America first. So Donald Trump is Tookie Williams. Vivek Ramaswamy, Snoop Dogg. I'd rather have Tookie Williams. You know what I'm saying? Tookie Williams looked like he could block a couple bullets. You know what I'm saying? Like Snoop Dogg talks kind of tough, but you know what I'm saying? I think the wind could kind of blow him around a little bit. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with Vivek Ramaswamy. Donald Trump already shown and proved. Vivek Ramaswamy seems like the wind could kind of blow him around a little bit. You guys agree? But listen to these people sounding pathetic, attempting to use our language, tripping all over the words. I'm taking that to the next level with America First 2.0, Ramaswamy said. So Ramaswamy doesn't have any shame, and he's laying in his culture of plagiarism. Shout out to Vega. What's good with it? He's calling his campaign America First 2.0. Now, my question would have been, what does America 2.0 look like? Does America 2.0 look like the vision for Make America Great Again? What does America 2.0 look like? What does America 2.0 consist of? Let's get the job done, which means dismantling federal bureaucracy. Okay, so now, again, how does Vivek Ramaswamy plan to dismantle federal bureaucracy? How does he plan on doing it? How does he plan to do a more effective job of it than Trump did with majority Democrats in the House? How is he going to utilize the Supreme Court? Now, the Supreme Court that's in office right now, that's an extension of the Trump era presidency. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. The current Supreme Court is an extension of the Trump presidency. Do you guys think that Vivek Ramaswamy will be able to strategically put together a team of Supreme Court justices like that to extend beyond his presidency to get his initiatives passed and done? And why hasn't that been one of his answers? How exactly is he going to, quote unquote, change bureaucracy? How's he going to do that? The candidate added that he'd propose 8-year sunset clauses for anybody in the federal bureaucracy and shut down federal agencies, including the Department of Education. Okay, so now here's a clip. All right, let's watch this.
You're looking for the Republican nomination. Probably the leader right now would be Donald Trump if you look at the polls. What are the policy differences you have between yourself and Donald Trump?
So first of all, Donald Trump's a friend. I'm not running against him. I am running on.
Now, if you're too scared to say, you know, I got respect for Trump, but he's a competitor and I'm looking to win. If you're too scared to say that, is that the kind of coward that you want talking to Vladimir Putin? Vladimir Putin sitting up there laughing at you saying, I'll go wherever I want to? I mean, if you can't deal with friendly competition, how are you going to deal with hostile competition? Vivek Ramaswamy presents exactly as a stereotypical millennial. Would you guys agree? He brags about being a millennial, but he wouldn't even have to tell anybody that he's a millennial because he literally presents himself as a millennial. He doesn't stand behind anything. He's a coward. He's not willing to be competitive, and he has no future plan or vision. All the critiques that the world has about the current millennial generation, all embodied in a presidential candidate that thinks that he's going to beat the OG using the OG's platform. Does any of that make any sense?
So you're looking for the Republican nomination. Probably the leader right now would be Donald Trump if you look at the polls. What are the policy differences you have between yourself and Donald Trump?
So first of all, Donald Trump's a friend. I'm not running against him. I am running on a vision for our nation.
Wait a minute, but you're not running for him. You're running against him. Let's be honest.
Okay, well, here's where I'm running for our country. But let's
shout out to Hobb. What's going on with it, bro? And then the audience laughed at him. Because, I mean, that was a legitimate question. Right. Right. Exactly.
for our country. But let's talk about differences, because I'm with you, Sean.
So he was stuttering like Roland Martin.
For him, you're running against him. Let's be honest.
Okay, well, here's where I'm running for our country. But let's talk about differences, because I'm with you, Sean. He was the OG of America First. I'm taking that to the next level with America First 2.0. Okay, let's actually get the job done, which means dismantling federal bureaucracy. Instead of actually these managerial protections and civil service protections, I'm proposing 8-year sunset clauses for anybody in the federal bureaucracy. If I can't—
Notice how he called them sunset clauses, reminiscent of sundown cities. Again, attempting to appeal to that simplistic white emotion. Honestly, if I was white people, I would be offended that this guy has nothing more to offer than trolling our racist culture. Because first of all, you know, if you're white, you have to acknowledge that, you know, racism is part of the European culture, and tribalism is one of the reasons why they were able to successfully dominate the world, right? As much as white people say that they want to be proud to be white, those aren't things that I would shy away from if it was me. Like, yeah, you know, it is what it is. But the fact that Vivek Ramaswamy, somebody who's not white, is attempting to troll white people based on their tropes, I don't know how I would take to that. But then again, I don't have the weakness of the necessity to have my ego stroked to function either. So it's easy for that kind of stuff to stand out like a sore thumb for me. But when somebody is susceptible to that kind of propaganda because they're based on emotion and not necessarily based on fact, it makes sense why he would come with this kind of propaganda and talking points. Would you guys agree?
Can't derive a paycheck from the federal government as the next U.S. president for more than 8 years. I don't think other federal bureaucrats should either. I'm going to shut down federal agencies. Earlier today, I put out my proposal to actually shut down the Department of Education, which should not exist. That's just the first of many government agencies that I am.
So now here's my question. How do you all feel about the Department of Education being shut down? In a country where people aren't very smart, I don't know if that would be my first stake at dealing with things. I would have to look at the Department of Education, see whether it's been a positive or a negative, see exactly what's going on with the money going into it, check out the mission and vision statement and see if it's been accomplishing what it's was created for, and then go from there. I don't know if I would just start slashing things. However, he's the CEO of a company. And what do CEOs of a company do? They come in and just start slashing things. I'm going to cut this out. 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 Matter of fact, I'm going to gut everything and now watch the GDP grow. Yeah, the only problem is that when you have that strategy, it's only a 5 to 10 year strategy. And usually what ends up happening is that the business implodes because a lot of necessary resources and assets were slashed. So he's talking like everything that he is. He's talking like an imposter. He's talking like a CEO, and he's talking like a millennial. Shouts out to Vivek Ramaswamy for keeping it real, like an OG. Let me ask you guys a question. How many people have worked for a company and a CEO has come in and said, we're going to cut accounting by 50%. We're going to cut supplies by 35%. We're going to cut line staff by 15%. And it's like, yo, we didn't do any feasibility studies on any of these cuts. We're going to cut it anyway. Now what you do is present your shareholders with a 75% equity increase and advise them to sell the stock, because now with the company operating on fumes, all you have is another 3 to 4 years before everything implodes because there's no infrastructure. I'm curious as to if that's how he ran his company. I find it fascinating that as a CEO, he's automatically coming in talking about departmental cuts. He didn't even mention reorganization. So what people should pay very close attention to is that Vivek Ramaswamy is talking exactly like everything he claims to be. Now, my question is that everything that he claims to be what you want to be the president of the United States? Is that going to be beneficial? Is that going to help? Only time will tell. And shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 20 people watching. If everybody could take a moment, smash that like button, hit that bell, and share the stream to your social media, that would be great.
I'm pledging to shut down as the next president. I am dismantling this climate religion. We have been addicted to a climate religion that shackles the United States while leaving China untouched. So I think this is about taking it to the next level as far as I see it.
All right, Vivek, we're going to watch your campaign closely. Welcome to the race. And got a lot of time between now. This time next year, people will be voting all around the country. We appreciate your time. When we come back.
So now here's my question. How many people were impressed by that news clip? Were you all left charmed, impressed, speechless, dazzled? Or were you severely disappointed? So now here says Ramaswamy isn't the only 2024 presidential candidate who has struggled to define how they differ from Trump. Nikki Haley, who spoke with Hannity last week, dodged questions from the Fox News host on how her platform parts from the former president's ideas, continuing to sidestep questions as she's done before on the network. So now my question is, if these people can't define how they differ from Trump, again, in a situation where it's a matter of these people versus Trump, and Trump is available, why would I choose these people? Shout out to Carla. What's good with it, Carla? So now here's something else that Vivek Ramaswamy said. You guys ready for this? This is from the Dave Rubin show. All right. And I don't know if anybody knows who Dave Rubin is, but he should be content on the LGTV channel. But here's what Dave Rubin said about Vivek Ramaswamy.
I just want to show you one other thing, because look, I'm giving him credit where credit is due. The good stuff at the beginning. Then he said something that it was fairly bananas, which is that the deep state is trying to get him.
How many people think that the deep state is trying to get Vivek Ramaswamy? If you guys think that the deep state is trying to get Vivek Ramaswamy, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that the deep state is trying to get Vivek Ramaswamy, give me a thumbs down. What are they trying to get him for? What are they trying to what are they trying to get Vivek Ramaswamy for? What do they want him for? A little bit of a grandiose complex, huh? Just a little bit, like 50 Cent, just a little bit. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't even think that the deep state knows who Vivek Ramaswamy is. And if they do know who Vivek Ramaswamy is, it's more than likely because Vivek Ramaswamy works with him. You know what I'm saying? Not because they want him for any particular reason.
And I just want to show you one other thing, because look, I'm giving him credit where credit is due, the good stuff at the beginning. Then he said something that it was fairly bananas, which is that the deep state is trying to get him.
My gut instinct is that I will be the nominee and in a position to win this in a landslide versus Biden. And they will not let Biden run against me. So I believe that if I am the nominee, they will not let Biden run. It is why they're holding in the back pocket the documents case against Biden. It is why they're holding in the back pocket everything else that you're wondering why they're not charging or bringing now. It's not a Democrat or Republican thing. It's a managerial class, deep state bureaucratic class versus elected official puppets.
What he just said there was that if he is the nominee, that the deep state will not allow Biden to run. Now, I do think the deep state does all kinds of crazy things. I think there is a huge issue.
Vivek Ramaswamy thinks that he's so important and so influential that if he's there, these deep state puppet masters are not going to let Biden run. But they are going to let him run against Trump. But they're going to rearrange their entire plan for Vivek Ramaswamy. How likely do you guys think that is?
If it is not Trump, because if it is, say, Vivek or Ron DeSantis or Nikki or anyone that is younger and more competent, the juxtaposition of that old dementia-ridden man versus these young people will be too much. The chasm will be too wide. The Democrats won't know what to do with it. But the idea that he's saying it basically as fact, the deep state is holding it in their pocket, that they will get rid of Biden if it is me. Like that's Trump level gish gallop. Gish gallop, when you lie so brazenly that nobody knows what to do with it, so they kind of let you have it. That is basically where he is at with that. So anyway, I'm trying to give you the good and the bad. I hopefully did that in as honest a way as possible.
So yeah, so there's that. So now let me ask you guys this question. You guys actually think that that's a thing? Is that actually happening? Shout out to PD Chicago B1. The deep state is not going to let Biden run as long as Vivek Ramaswamy is involved. So, you know, if we can get Vivek Ramaswamy to the nominations, we won't have to worry about a Biden run. Oh, man, that's crazy, man. So, yo, shout out to everybody that's in here. If you guys haven't hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to Blacklight Revelations C19 Report, make sure you guys check out Blacklight Revelations C19 Report. I think I'm going to go live on there shortly, but I'm not going to be able to stream it on Rumble because the video won't be done processing yet. So be looking for the YouTube notifications. For people that are not getting notifications, make sure that you guys hit the link that's pinned in the chat. It's also in the description. For the Discord, people are getting the notifications on Discord, so make sure that you guys do that. And I will in the Discord will send you notifications for every channel, so you don't even have to be subscribed to all the channels. Discord will send you the notification. You'll be able to find where it's at through Discord. All right. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all being here. I will catch you all momentarily. All right. Peace.